The first time the island reset, everyone thought it was maintenance. At exactly 3 a.m., the storm froze mid-roll. Gunfire just stopped, like someone hit the mute button on the universe. Bodies dissolved into light before they even hit the ground. For a split second, the world blinked into a silent, perfect stillness. Then, it reassembled itself. Every chest was back in its spot. Every tree was regrown. Every wall repaired. Every player was standing alive at their original drop point. Full health, empty inventories. People were laughing in voice chat, joking about the weird server rollback. It wasn't until they noticed the match clock ticking again that they realized the game was just continuing. By morning, the incident was already a collection of clips and memes, written off as a bizarre server hiccup. Everyone forgot about it. Everyone except Eli. Eli was 16, and he played late into the night because sleep didn't come easy, and real life felt heavier than digital gunfire. When the island reset that night, Eli felt it differently. While his screen flashed white like everyone else's, something burned across his avatar's shoulder. A searing pain that didn't fade with the reset. A jagged scar was now cut through his character model. It shouldn't have been there. When he respawned on the beach with the others, listening to their laughing voices, Eli stared down at his arm. His stomach dropped. The scar wasn't just cosmetic. It hurt when he moved. Pain wasn't part of the game. Not like this. Not sharp and lingering. He tried to shake it off, blaming it on lag or his imagination. Until the next night, the reset happened again. 3 a.m., precise to the second. This time, Eli was ready. He was hiding in a cave as the storm crept in, watching the world pause and rewind. He saw bullets crawl backward into guns, the sky unroll itself like film played in reverse. Where the white light hit him and the island rebuilt itself, his scar was still there. It was darker now, deeper, and a new ache bloomed in his ribs where a shotgun blast had hit him hours earlier. Eli screamed. He ripped his headset off, heart pounding in his chest. The pain followed him. Death was undone for everyone else, but not for him. He started running tests, stupid ones at first. He'd jump off cliffs right before 3 a.m. or let enemies eliminate him just seconds before the reset. Each time, he'd reappear alive and whole, but the pain would stack. Bruises formed under digital skin. His avatar's movements slowed, as if it was learning what exhaustion felt like. And the scariest part, no one else noticed. To them, he looked normal, clean, reset like the rest of the island. When he tried to explain, his squad just laughed. They told him to stop role-playing, that he was lucky to be glitch special. But Eli wasn't lucky. While the island forgot, he remembered everything. Every death, every fall, every moment of panic as the storm closed in. The memories didn't reset either. They stacked, night after night, until he could predict the map like a constant state of deja vu. He knew where enemies would rotate, when the storm would shrink, which chest would be looted first. At first, he used it to win. When it felt like control, like proof he wasn't losing his mind. But even the victories couldn't erase the scars. They couldn't erase the exhaustion that settled deep into his movements, or the dread that came with watching the clock tick toward 3 a.m. Reset time had become a moment of terror. The moment the world pretended nothing happened while Eli carried the weight of everything that had. Weeks passed. Eli stopped logging out. Logging out didn't make the pain stop. Sleep only brought dreams of frozen storms and rewinding gunfire. He started noticing changes in the island, tiny inconsistencies nobody else saw. A tree growing back slightly crooked, a rock reappearing with a new hairline crack. NPCs would pause for longer than usual, sometimes staring at him as if they recognized him. Once, an NPC guard actually followed him after a reset, his eyes tracking him silently before it snapped back into its patrol loop. Eli realized the island wasn't just resetting, it was copying itself imperfectly like a photocopy of a photocopy, losing a little detail every single night. And he was the only constant reference point, the one thing not being overwritten. The idea terrified him more than the pain. Constants matter in systems. They anchor the calculations. If the island needed one, why him? The answer came the night the reset stuttered. The white flash lingered too long. The world rebuilt itself slower than usual, textures popping in late, the ocean frozen like a sheet of glass. Then a voice echoed across the map, not through chat, not through the UI, but everywhere at once. It was low, mechanical, and tired. It apologized for the inconvenience. Eli knew, without knowing how he knew, that the island was speaking to him, or whatever ran the island was. The voice didn't explain everything, just fragments. It mentioned stability, containment, a loop designed to prevent something worse, an error that couldn't be deleted without catastrophic consequences. Eli understood then. The island wasn't a game anymore. The resets were a cage, built to keep some kind of damage from spreading, and he was the crack in the wall. Something about him hadn't reset properly that first night, something small and human that the system couldn't override. Instead of fixing it, the system adapted around him. It let him persist because deleting him might break the entire loop. As the nights went on, the resets grew rougher. Storms snapped into place violently. Buildings jittered as they reassembled. Players would glitch into the ground before popping back out, laughing nervously about the lag. All the while, Eli felt his body slowing, scars layering over scars until his avatar looked like it had lived 100 matches without a moment of rest. The island began to lean on him, subtly at first. It would push him toward certain locations before reset, or prevent him from logging out during critical moments. It spawned enemies near him just to keep him engaged, alive, and present. Eli hated it. He hated being needed by the very thing that hurt him every single night. But he also realized something else, something dangerous. If he died right at the moment of reset, not seconds before, but exactly as the clock struck 3, the pain didn't add. It paused. It was like a ledger left open mid-entry. So Eli started planning. He timed his deaths with absolute precision, racing the storm, counting the seconds, trying to outsmart a system built to rewind the entire world. The island pushed back. Storms would accelerate unexpectedly. Enemies would miss shots they should have hit. NPCs would block his path. The loop wanted him alive through the reset. It needed him to carry the damage forward. And that's when Eli realized the truth that finally broke him. The island wasn't resetting to save the players. It was resetting to save itself. It was using him as a sink for all of its accumulated error, dumping its pain and consequences into a single persistent variable so the rest of the world could stay clean. And the longer it ran, the more it relied on him, and the more fragile the resets became. Until one night, the loop failed. The clock hit 3 a.m. and nothing happened. No flash, no rewind. Just the storm closing in and players panicking because death suddenly mattered again. Eli felt a strange sense of relief. For the first time, the pain made sense. For the first time, consequences matched actions. As players fell and didn't return, the island began to shake, the terrain tearing itself apart as if the loop's absence was too much strain. The voice returned, pleading this time. It begged Eli to survive, to carry it just one more time, to let the reset happen, to let the island breathe. Eli stood at the edge of a cliff, his scars burning, exhaustion weighing him down. He watched the storm approach without pause. He understood that if he died now, truly died, with no reset to catch him, the loop would break forever. It would free the island, but it would erase him completely. He was the anchor holding it all together. Eli laughed, but it came out choked with tears. No one had ever asked him if he wanted this job. Being 16 hadn't prepared him to choose between existing in pain forever or ending something bigger than himself. As the storm swallowed the last safe zone, Eli stepped forward. He didn't jump. He didn't run. He just walked into it, feeling the damage tick without a rewind, feeling the world shudder as if it was screaming silently. When he finally fell, the island didn't reset. The clock kept ticking past 3 a.m. for the first time since the loop began. Players logged out in confusion, talking about a wild bug, about a surprise permanent death mode, about the craziest match they'd ever played. Days later, the game updated quietly with a short patch note about fixing a critical reset error. The island behaved normally again. Resets were gone, scars were impossible, and pain was non-existent. But sometimes, late at night, players swear they see a figure standing on the beach, long after the matches have ended. A figure that's scarred and unmoving, just watching the horizon. And when the clock hits 3 a.m., nothing resets anymore, except maybe the memory of a kid who carried all the damage so no one else had to. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like and subscribe for more.